800-547-6018. 800-547-6018.
A federal judge nominee who has never tried a case is a step closer to a lifetime appointment on the bench after being approved by the Senate Judiciary Committee. Brett Talley has practiced law for just 3 years and received a unanimous not qualified rating from the American Bar Association. President Trump's nominee was approved by the Senate panel on a party line vote. Civil rights groups denounced the vote by noting Talley's lack of experience and high degree of partisanship. Mitt Romney is said to be leaning toward a run for the U.S. Senate. There's growing speculation that veteran Utah Republican Orrin Hatch will retire. Politico says the 70-year-old Romney still has political ambitions, despite 2 unsuccessful runs for president. The former Massachusetts governor is a devout Mormon who lives in Holiday Utah. He maintains a strong fundraising network. This is USA Radio News.
Hey, it's Tom Hinchy. For all you Trying to listeners, we've got a great deal from MyPillow to help you get a better night's sleep. I love MyPillow, and I'm getting a better night's sleep. You can too. Go to MyPillow.com or call 800-951-8175 and ask for the radio listener special. Use promo code USA and you'll now get 50% off 2 MyPillow premium pillows and 2 Go Anywhere pillows. Call 800-951-8175 or go to MyPillow.com.
An American corporation has done a huge deal with a Chinese company, as USA's Chris Barnes reports.
Boeing confirming it's done a deal to sell 300 planes to a Chinese aviation company. The $37 billion deal, one of several unveiled as President Trump continues his Asia tour.
Okay, so we got 3 shots to plant, you and me?
737s, 777s, and 787s. Those planes will be leased to Chinese airlines by the company that's purchasing them. For USA Radio News, I'm Chris Barnes.
Arizona House Speaker.
Yeah, the audio's good so far.
Says he wants an immediate investigation into sexual harassment allegations against Representative Don Shooter.
I want this to be resolved as quickly as possible. Session starts in 2 months. I don't want this over hanging our heads during the session.
He says the claims will be investigated by an independent panel.
The allegations are very concerning. We take them very seriously, as we will take any allegation.
Shooter was suspended from his position as chairman of the House Appropriations Committee amid mounting allegations of sexual harassment. One of the 6 women accusing Shooter of inappropriate behavior is a Democratic lobbyist who says he touched her inappropriately when she was asking for his support on budget issues.
That's a great looking shot right there. The plant looks good. Right? Yeah, it's just sharp as can be.
On any further punishment. For USA Radio News, I'm Wendy King.
If your credit card bills have gotten out of hand, call Consolidated Credit now. If you're making the minimum payments, but your balance is just not going down, call Consolidated Credit now. If the interest rates on your credit cards are so high to get out of debt, call Consolidated Credit now. They've helped over 5 million people with credit card debt. Consolidate your debts into one payment, use rate, and get you out of debt. If you're struggling with credit card debt, step is yours. Call Consolidated Credit now. Call 800-350-3241. 800-350-3241. That's 800-350-3241. Consolidated Credit Counseling Services Incorporated, 5701 West Sunrise Boulevard, Fort Lauderdale, Florida, 33313. Not a loan company. Licensed by the New York Department of Financial Services and by the Vermont Department of Financial Regulation. Maryland DM 19, Oregon DM 80031. Licensed by the Virginia State Corporation Commission. License number DC 32.
Welcome to the Garden America Radio Show, the country's most listened to gardening program. This is your chance to talk about gardening, horticulture, landscaping, in fact, anything that has to do in the world of gardening. The phone lines are open right now at 855-424-9825. That's 855-424-9825. Or send us your questions and comments to john@gardenamerica.com. Now, here's Bryan Main, John Bagnasco, and Tiger Palafox on Biz Talk Radio and the Garden America Radio Network.
It is 6 minutes after the hour. Good morning. Welcome to Garden America. As you heard the announcer, our lovely female announcer, Tori Peck, say, join, or I should say, here's John, here's Tiger, here's Bryan. Actually, 2 of 3 are here. That would be
Sans John.
Yeah, Sans John. Myself and Tiger got a call from John Bagnasco about 30 minutes ago. He's broken down on the freeway and will not be with us. In fact, he's broken down very close to home, and he's a long way from the studio, so John will not be with us today, which is unfortunate because we have nobody to pick on.
Yeah, I know, but he is safe.
Oh, yeah, John is safe, yeah.
Yeah, he is safe. Somebody's going to go get him.
Yeah, he's got the tow truck or AAA coming.
The next thing, though, that he is safe, because we're always talking about John, and there's always some accident.
There's always something, right?
Something going on, but he's safe.
Yeah, he lives a very dramatic life. Lots of drama in John's life. So we're going to carry the load today. Post your questions, comments right there on Facebook Live. Hopefully you are tuned in. Also streaming on BizTalk Radio. You can go to our website, gardenamerica.com, and click Listen Live. Several ways to do that. You can also call us at 855-424-9825. I would say John at gardenamerica.com, but he is not here to answer those email questions. But Tiger and I are here for the next couple of hours. We've got Nick Staddon this hour.
Yeah, Nick Staddon.
I'm sorry.
The plantsman. He's a plantsman.
A plantsman.
Yeah.
Is that a self-given title?
I gave it to him.
Oh, you gave it to him?
No, it's not self-given.
You gave it to him. Wow.
Yeah.
You're pretty powerful.
I am, right?
Exactly.
Whatever I say. I'm on the radio, so whatever I say is true.
Is that why you call me Sir Mix-a-Lot? Because I produce commercials?
Yeah.
Okay, that's good.
I do say that Bryan, Maine is probably the most heard man in San Diego. Between the Aztec games, basketball and football, between the radio and then the commercials that get played with your voice on them.
True, I guess you're right.
I could never escape you.
I must be just a pain in the butt.
Yeah.
Can we turn the channel? Can we turn this channel? Can we turn it off?
Wait a minute.
Anyway, right in front of you, if you're watching us on Facebook Live, that is a beautiful plant. Tell us about that plant.
So it's a grevillea, and it's a variety called Ned Kelly. And one of the reasons why I brought it in today, as I said before, Nick is a plantsman.
Okay.
And so his thing is to go around the country, the world, and look at new plants, help develop new plants. And grevillea is one that's become real popular. It's Australian-based, so they're native to Australia. And the reason why I like this one, Ned Kelly, is because of the name. Ned Kelly is a bush wrangler from Australia.
Wrangler.
He was kind of the...
Like an American cowboy?
Yeah, well, more like the legend of... what was the guy that stole money from the rich and gave to the poor?
Well, Butch Cassidy.
No.
Billy the Kid.
Well, yeah, no.
Oh, you mean Robin Hood?
Robin Hood.
Okay, I'm thinking Old West.
I'm sorry,
okay.
I'm sorry.
Robin Hood.
But anyways, yeah.
Yeah.
So, in Australia, there's two visions of Ned Kelly. One is of Robin Hood.
Okay.
That was defending the poor, oppressed people. And one was he was an outlaw, murderer, and thief. And this grevillea here reflects, I think, a lot of the spirit because it talks about wildfires and Ned Kelly and the bush wranglers, and it's a red-orange blossom, and the grevilleas have these really unique flowers on them already that are kind of almost alien-looking flowers.
Right, exactly.
And then being native to Australia, where it's kind of almost an alien landscape where you've got these dry deserts in these coastal regions, it's a great plant, but it's a wonderful plant for a lot of varieties if you live in a dry climate. And, and we'll talk more a bit about these kinds of plants with Nick.
And I would imagine it would do well in San Diego.
Oh, yeah, definitely. It's definitely one of those plants that loves our inland dry environments, not a lot of water, but lots of showy color. And then the nice thing is you can see it's blooming right now, and we are in November, and there's not a lot happening in the garden.
It's interesting you mentioned that. It has all the things that people would love to have in a garden. It doesn't take much water. It can live pretty much anywhere. It seems to be very tenacious. It blooms and has color. It's November, and it looks very good. That's about everything one could ask.
Yeah, and the grevillea Ned Kelly also gets about 4 feet by 4 feet, which is another thing that people always want. They want a plant, but then they don't want to trim it. Well, if you have an area that is 4 feet by 4 feet, and you don't want to ever trim this plant, it will be fine there. So,
well, give me some negatives.
You can overwater them. So if you live in a wet environment,
all right,
even if you don't water it and it rains,
get too much rain,
then it will die on you.
Now, how would it do indoors? Can you bring it in now and then?
No, you cannot. You cannot bring this.
Can't
indoors.
even
Not
bring
at
it.
all.
Not at all. Okay.
Not
It
all.
needs sunshine, obviously.
Yeah.
Okay.
It likes the outside environment, and it likes to be kept somewhat on the dry side once it's established. But that's a negative. But I think that's probably the biggest.
Not
two
a bad
negatives.
negative. I mean, big deal.
No.
So other than that, I mean, good patio plant.
Yep, good patio plant. And like I said, full sun. It loves the sun.
So it would need at least 6 to 7 hours a day.
Yeah, that would be perfect. In midday sun. So that's the thing people don't always think about, too, is,
Mm-hmm.
oh, well, it's morning sun until about noon. It's like, well, the morning sun is usually a little soft.
It's not hot enough.
No.
Morning sun is very gentle.
Yeah.
For certain plants, love it. And I know in my patio right now, because we're shifting into the wintertime, the sun has completely shifted in terms of how much sun I'm getting. And I haven't watered my plants for probably a week and a half, and they're still moist.
Isn't that crazy sometimes?
Yeah.
But yet you go out there sometimes, and it's almost daily.
Exactly. And, which we had days like that this summer when it was over 100, but my sun patients are the indicator. And they're not drooping at all. But I'm still going to go out there and water today because it's a little dry. But yeah, the time of the year. So this plant, you got to have full sun. Other than that, it holds up on its own.
Yeah. Yeah, and I'm sure we'll learn a lot more about some of the grevilleas because I know Nick is real popular in some of the drought-tolerant plants, but he's also going to give us some of his choices that are for the upcoming spring and in this fall, what you can find out there and some of the things people don't always know.
Right. And again, that's not a plant that the average person's even going to know about.
Right.
You don't walk into Home Depot or a box store and ask for this plant.
Correct. Yeah, they're not ones that are commonly found in the chain nurseries.
Right.
So.
Anyway, so go to our website, gardenamerica.com. Just briefly want to talk about coming up July next year, our trip to England. All the information is right there on the homepage. You can click. It'll take you to a site where you can get the full itinerary. It is Earthbound Expeditions, and Matthew is heading this up. Also, what else is going on? Our newsletter. You should be signed up for our newsletter. You can do the same thing. Go to gardenamerica.com and sign up for our newsletter, which will give you information on upcoming shows who are
fall planting, fall vegetables are going in, fall flowers are starting to go in. Week was busy with my daughter's last softball game, so we've been getting amped up and ready for that. And then last thing I think this week is we just are getting into the Thanksgiving. So a lot of fun holidays ahead of us that kind of going into this November month. And I really am one that tries to embrace Thanksgiving over the combination of Halloween/Christmas, because if you go around anywhere right now, all you see is Christmas.
Exactly.
You
it's everywhere.
Forget Thanksgiving. So I'm looking forward to the Thanksgiving holiday.
Check the audio, if you would, real quick on our Facebook, Tiger. Make sure that we're connected good as you go through that coughing spell there. And that's okay. You got to drink that coffee, have a little cough. A lot of people tuning in, joining us on Facebook Live. We do appreciate that. Thank you so much. Again, 855-424-9825. Our guest will be coming up after the break. So normally John reads the quote of the week here. I'm going to read it since John is, he's broken down on the road someplace this morning. And John, if you're by any chance listening to us, we do care for you. So get home safely. In the garden, autumn is indeed the crowning glory of the year, bringing us the fruition of months of thought and care and toil. And at no season, save perhaps in daffodil time, do we get such superb color effects as from August to November. And that's a quote by Rose G. Kingsley. Do you have any idea who Rose G. Kingsley is? Because I don't.
think he just picked it out because it says Rose.
Because it says, you know what, that's a good idea.
Her name is Rose.
Her name. And you know, it's funny because the last few quotes by John have all been related to autumn and this time of the year. So very timely. Very, very timely. We've got about a minute to go here until the break. You mentioned Christmas trees coming in. If somebody buys a Christmas tree in the next week or so, that's going to be a long time to care for it.
Keep it inside, in the shade, cool, damp.
What about water? What about water?
That's the hard thing. The Christmas tree is more or less a cut flower. And you keep water in the base of it, and you give it a fresh cut, so that way hopefully it sucks up water. But the bottom line is that sometimes they suck up water for a long period of time, and sometimes they don't. And, you play a game of chance when you do it this early.
Absolutely. It is break time. Going to check and see if our guest is ready to go. Tiger Palafox, Bryan Main on this Saturday morning. John is out today trying to get his car back to a garage or someplace. Anyway, 855-424-9825 or post your questions on Facebook Live. I'm Bryan May, and he's Tiger Palafox. We're going to step aside, take a break on your Saturday morning. Stay with us. This is the Garden America radio program.
This is Joe Lample from Growing a Greener World. With the environment in mind, I recommend Milorganite organic nitrogen fertilizer for all your growing needs. From plants to people, active growth requires energy, nutrients, and a balanced diet. Nutrient-rich Milorganite feeds the soil and plants for up to 3 months. The organic nitrogen is slow release and won't burn plants even during hot, dry weather. Trust the fertilizer, proven effective for 90 years. Milorganite, for better results naturally. Visit Milorganite.com for a garden center near you.
Mosquitoes can transmit deadly diseases, including Zika virus, West Nile virus, and dengue fever. Use Summit Mosquito Dunks to kill mosquitoes before they become disease-spreading pests. Just float an organic mosquito dunk in ponds, bird baths, rain barrels, and any standing water to kill mosquito larvae for 30 days or longer. Don't worry, mosquito dunks won't harm people, pets, fish, birds, or other wildlife. Mosquito Dunks are available at fine garden centers and hardware stores.
Are you struggling with addiction or alcohol problems? If you're depressed, drinking, and using drugs, you may need help. And the Affordable Care Act guarantees coverage of substance abuse.
I knew I could get myself out of this. I just needed some hope and some help.
I took the first step to recovery when I made the call.
Call the Addiction, Hope, and Helpline now for a free assessment with someone who cares. Call 800-547-6533. 800-547-6533.
I feel like I'm losing control. I'm afraid I'll lose my job or even my family.
Call now for hope and help with proven, gentle recovery programs.
I never thought that I could be somebody who didn't drink and use drugs.
I'm in recovery, getting the help I need.
Call the Addiction, Hope, and Helpline now for a free assessment with someone who cares. Call 800-547-6533. 800-547-6533. 800-547-6533.
If Ernest Hemingway was alive today, would he say this to you?
Shakespeare, Mark Twain, Edgar Allan Poe, all great writers. And after reading your book, I simply must add you to the list.
Wait, you don't have a book yet. So make a free call to Page Publishing. Their expert staff can help you turn your book idea into a real book, a masterpiece that could someday make the bestseller list in hard copy and digitally all across the world. Page Publishing can help you completely take your idea for a book, write it, and publish it. So if you want to join the ranks of some of the most famous authors in the world, call now for a free information kit. Turn your book idea into publishing gold. Make a free call right now to Page Publishing.
888-785-0618. 888-785-0618. 888-785-0618. That's 888-785-0618. Investing is a long-term process. How many times can you think of in the last decade that the stock market has destroyed retirement funds for people just like you and me? For your existing IRA, you need the security that gold has provided for centuries. Remember, gold has never been worth zero. Capital Gold would like to introduce you to the Home Storage Gold IRA. It's a self-directed IRA set up with all the protection and tax benefits of an LLC. But the big difference in this IRA is you invest in gold and you hold it in your possession. You can't do that with stocks. That's security. You can transfer any type of IRA hassle-free in days. Please call right now and learn more, and we'll waive the $500 setup fee and give you a free safe to store your gold. Call 800-223-0092. 800-223-0092. 800-223-0092. That's 800-223-0092.
Biz Talk Radio.
Welcome back to the Garden America radio show with Bryan, John, and Tiger. The phone lines are open right now at 855-424-9825. That's 855-424-9825. Or John at gardenamerica.com.
Want to say good morning and thank you for joining us here on Facebook Live. I'm Bryan May. He's Tiger Palafox. John Bagnasco, broken down on the side of the freeway. He's okay. He's just not going to be here today. We're going to miss him.
Yeah, we will miss him and some of his knowledge. But we have a great plantsman
Yes,
that's
we
going to
do.
be joining us this morning.
With a lot of knowledge.
Yeah.
Hey, just quickly here, the name of that plant once again is?
Grevillea Ned Kelly.
And can you give us just a brief, for those just joining us, we started to talk about it before the break. You buy a Christmas tree a month and a half ahead of Christmas. Some tips on keeping it alive through the 25th.
You want to keep it shaded. So if you're going to bring it indoors, close the windows as much as possible.
Okay.
Keep water in the base of it and keep the room cool. So not running the heater or anything like that as much as you can. If you're not going to bring it indoors, you can put it on your patio and keep it in the shade, which would probably be much a cooler environment, especially in the evenings, which the tree will fall out and be nice and fresh and lose some of its debris that you don't have to bring in the house.
Optimum time to buy a Christmas tree before Christmas so you don't have to do all that maintenance.
I would say the first week of December.
Okay.
Yeah, that would be the optimum time. You're going to get the best selection, but then you're going to get a nice fresh tree that's probably just been delivered and just been cut.
Okay, so speaking of that plant, Nick is ready to go. Tiger,
All right.
let's bring him on and learn some things this morning.
So I had this whole setup this morning ready because John was supposed to be here.
Right.
And I was going to say, well, I didn't know a lot about Nick besides the fact that he has to be one of the best plantsmen in the world, and he's worked for some of the premier companies when it comes to horticulture in the world. But he's currently working with Village Nurseries, which is, I think, just been combined with one of the other largest nurseries in the country. So, I mean, if you're working for these companies, you have to know a lot about what you're doing and what's out there. And, you know, so I was going to lead it up and then have John introduce him after that. But since John's not here,
yeah.
Nick, good morning. How are you?
I'm just great. I don't know if I can do this if John is not on the line.
Oh, I'm sure we can. I'm sure we can bumble through it. How are you doing this morning?
Good. Well, Bryan, good morning, and Tiger, good morning to you as well.
Good morning to you.
Good to chat with you guys. You know, you're good for my ego today. You're setting me up. You know.
I hope so.
Yeah, the pressure's on, Nick. You know that we're expecting big things out of you.
Without John, you have to carry our show.
Well, he's got, you know, John and I, we've both got this kind of dry sense of humor. So, you know, John and I tend to be roaring with laughter at something while everyone else is saying, what are they laughing about?
Yeah, we tend to question John a lot.
And we can tease him because he's not here. But he'll find out. He always gets back to him.
Yeah.
That's for sure. So
Nick,
Tiger, I can't believe that you're getting your trees in already at the nursery.
I know, huh? It's shocking. It's shocking. Yeah. But it is the season.
Oh. Yeah, no, you're right. You're right.
Yeah. Hey, so the last time I saw you, you were doing a plant presentation at the Village Nursery up off of Miramar Road here in San Diego. How are things been going for you?
Do you know what? Thank you for asking. They're going really well. Village has really gone from strength to strength. The primary focus is the landscape architects and landscape designers, but they also have landscape centers where gardeners and people who are really interested in plants, you know, they can go and actually buy plants there. The really exciting news, as you alluded to, Tiger, is they've just been purchased by a company in Texas called Tree Time USA. And Tree Time has growing facilities from Texas all the way down to Homestead in Florida. And they're very different in the fact that they grow enormous trees. So they'll grow magnolias for the southeastern market or the southern market. They'll have like a 12 or 15-inch caliper on them, and these trees will be like 20, 30 feet high and sort of 15 feet across. And that's been their business for years and years. So it's very exciting, the change that's going to take place and getting these two companies to work closely together. Very, very exciting times ahead.
And so I know that on your side of it, you help them kind of pick their palettes because, as you alluded to in the beginning, the focus is more on landscape designers and landscape installers. So these are people that need to know what plants are going to be successful and kind of what's trendy at the moment. And you help Village kind of pick their palette as far as what they're going to be growing, correct?
Yeah, and it's really been, I've been with them for a couple of years now, and we've got a really great team. You know, Village is a wonderful combination of business people and plants people people how to how to grow the plants, and then we have the team that kind of look for the new plants and trial and evaluate them and bring them to market. So one of the things that I've always really been focused on, Tiger, is breeders, bless their hearts, they're breeding plants, they're putting a lot of time and energy into it. They might be breeding these plants in Australia or New Zealand or South Africa or somewhere else in the world. But we've got to make sure that these plants perform well in our Southern California landscapes. So, you can pretty much say something from New Zealand, Australia, South Africa. They have a really good chance of performing well. But it's important for us to trial and evaluate them before we put them in front of the landscape architects and designers.
Hey, Nick.
We've actually got
I'm sorry, Nick. I was going to say, when it comes to plants surviving in our climate in San Diego, you mentioned various parts of the world. I know a lot of factors go into that, but is the primary factor weather in terms of survival besides the other variables that are involved?
Well, you've got weather. You've also got the season itself. You've got different growing conditions. Here we have our coastal influences. Down in San Diego, it's beautifully mild, but the further inland you get, it can get very hot, but it can also get extremely cold in the wintertime as well. The other scenario is our soils. And Tiger, I was really fascinated. You were talking about the Ned Kelly grevillea. So something that I learned pretty early on with grevilleas, and these are from the people who've been good enough to coach me along, is they really don't do at all well if there's phosphorus in the soil. And so many of the mixes that are used today contain some sort of phosphorus. So you've really got to get a phosphorus-free mix when you plant your grevillea in the ground. It's not just about the weather conditions, it's about the right soil, and it's also about the right water as well. So many of the larger landscapes now and the larger communities are starting to use recycled water, and there's actually a lot of plants that don't like recycled water. One of the primary reasons is because they tend to be higher in salt. So it's really fascinating. There's a lot to learn.
And you bring that up, and is it because recycled water tends to be treated more? Is that why it's higher in salts? Is it because there's just so much of a treatment process to get it to be able to come out of someone's, irrigation line that it's just loaded with salt at the end of the day? Is that one of the issues?
I think, Tiger, yes, that's certainly one of the issues. A lot of the water that we actually drink, say, up here in Los Angeles, is actually recycled water.
Hey, Nick, hold on to that thought. We've got to take a break. Nick, we're going to take a break, but hold on to that thought, because we're going to come back and talk about, obviously, the pH and the salts and recycled water and why that's not good for this plant. So stay with us. Questions, 855-424-9825 or Facebook Live. Tiger and I do our best to answer your questions. Going to step aside, taking a break, coming right back.
Have you heard about Biz TV? Biz TV is the home for America's entrepreneurs, small businesses, and those who want to succeed in life. It's the first national television network committed to airing quality, educational, and inspirational programming about real business people. Small businesses drive America forward, generating 64% of all new jobs in the last decade. With over 30 million small businesses in the U.S., shouldn't you be watching Biz TV? With the right kind of ideas, motivation, and education to help fuel the next generation of business owners, Biz TV is the network you should be watching. Success stories, new ideas turned into businesses, programs full of sales tips, goal setting, how to manage, how to raise capital, and improving work-life balance. Biz TV is for those who want to succeed. Visit biztv.com and call your satellite or cable service provider to request Biz TV.
What is term life insurance? It's basically a financial protection plan for your family if you pass away. It can be a hard purchase. Think about it. It's one of the few major purchases you can make that you will personally never use. But you've got to have it to protect your family. And you owe it to yourself to shop and compare to get the best possible rates. For term life insurance policies of $500,000 or more, call the Term Lifeline today.
800-957-6068. That's 800-957-6068. Remember, We specialize in term life insurance policies of $500,000 or more, and we have great rates for smokers too. So call today. 800-957-6068. 800-957-6068. That's 800-957-6068.
Do you have an old car sitting in your driveway? How would you like to learn a hassle-free way to get rid of it, help kids in need, and get a great tax donation in the process? It's real easy. One simple free call to our car donation hotline is all it takes. Call the Neshama Foundation at 800-721-6723, 800-721-6723. We'll come pick your car up for free and give you a tax donation for the full value of the car, running or not. The value of your unwanted car will go to help kids in need. It's fast and easy. Just call us and your car will be gone and on its way to helping children in 48 hours. And you get a nice tax deduction. Call the Neshama Foundation now to get rid of your car, help kids, and get a tax write-off. Call 800-721-6723, 800-721-6723, 800-721-6723. That's 800-721-6723.
Greece is cheap.
But the airfare costs a fortune.
Paris?
Not much closer, and again, airfare...
What about Puerto Vallarta?
Let's face it, flying anywhere is just too expensive.
Wait, what's this? Low-cost airlines.
With one call to low-cost airlines, you'll drastically slash your travel costs. We're talking insanely low airline prices to any of your favorite destinations. Where would you like to go? London, Rome, Costa Rica, Australia?
Wow, that's cheap.
So why wait? Call now to learn how crazy cheap it is to fly anywhere in the U.S. or international. Our prices are so low, we can't publish them. The only way to get them is to call to instantly hear the most amazing best deals on airline travel. It's that easy. So call now and start packing.
800-217-5107. 800-217-5107. 800-217-5107. That's 800-217-5107.
Do you need a car? Been shopping only to be turned down because of bad credit, low credit, no credit, bankruptcy, or divorce? Guess what? Today's your lucky day, because now you can buy a car, truck, or SUV, just about any vehicle. It's true. Bad credit doesn't matter. No credit doesn't matter. Bankruptcy or divorce, it just doesn't matter. As a matter of fact, your job is your ticket to your new vehicle. We're Auto Credit Express, and we've helped thousands of people just like you. Antonio H. told us, great company, got me connected, and the day I went in, I drove off in the car I wanted. 100% worth your time. Need a car? Get started now and drive off as early as today. Just go to 11ignoremyscore.com right now. That's www.11ignoremyscore.com. Auto financing the easy way. 11ignoremyscore.com. Get started today. Auto financing the easy way.
Biz Talk Radio.
Welcome back to the Garden America Radio Show with Bryan, John, and Tiger. The phone lines are open right now at 855-424-9825. That's 855-424-9825. Or John at gardenamerica.com.
And we are back. It is 35 minutes after the hour. Before the break, Tiger, we were talking about using recycled water, not good, talking about salts in the water.
Yeah.
Maybe, and again, Nick, you correct us if we're wrong here. Obviously, pH would be very important in helping to grow this plant, correct?
Well, it depends, yeah. You know, we mustn't make this too complicated for your great listeners, but pH is really important. I mean, you know, it can be beneficial, and it can go the other way as well. So what I would suggest, if the gardeners or folks listening in on the show, if they're having an issue with their water or their soil, first off, they can take it to their local extension agent, you know, and the extension agent will actually test their water. They'll let them know basically everything that's in that water, if they've got too much of something or too little of something. And the same with the soil as well. And Tiger, do you work with any companies down in San Diego that do testing for you in that part of the world?
Not with water. We do work with some soil testing labs. But other than that, like you said, a lot of the water authorities here in San Diego will test your water for you, to get you some of those results. So you can just take it to probably your local water authority wherever you live. Yeah.
Yeah. And then see, for your listeners who are further afield, there's a super company who I've had the good fortune to work with a time or two, and they have several offices around America. And if memory serves me well, their name is Waypoint Analytical. And they're great guys, very down to earth, and they'll test your water and your soil and let you know what's in there and if you need to add something to it, or et cetera. The other great thing about Waypoint is they've developed lists of plants. If someone comes in from a certain region, they'll have a list of plants available that they can say these plants will work well in your particular soil. So they've really gone the extra mile.
Oh, that's excellent. So one of the things we brought you on this morning for, Nick, was because you have some exciting plants you want to talk about, correct?
Oh, yes. Yeah. But before we Tiger, before we go there, I have to say something. I always read your newsletters that you get, and I picked a diamond up from you. And last week's letter, you were talking about Joseph Dalton Hooker, the prominent Victorian botanist.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. And so I'm reading through the blurb you put out about him because he's really an icon. But he was born in a place called Halesworth in Suffolk, which is about no more than 30 minutes from where I was born as well. So he was born in the town of Halesworth, and I was born in a place called Ipswich. So I found that absolutely fascinating, and I actually I scolded myself for not knowing that, but I thought that's just some of the great information you get from your newsletters.
And Nick, another reason why people should subscribe to our newsletter, right?
Yeah.
Well, yes, I think so. Yeah.
There's a good promo for us. Thank you,
Nick. Yeah, you're welcome. So on the plant side, and Tiger and Bryan, if I'm getting too long-winded here, do please pull me up.
No, carry the show.
Tiger,
we appreciate
it. Okay, thank you. So Tiger, you were talking about grevilleas and grevillea, breeding and the varieties that are available on the market. They've just come so far in the last several years, and one of the newer groups that have come to market, they've been around in Australia for a long, long time, but it's called the Kings series, like the King and Queen. So this is the Kings series, and they come out of a botanical garden in Australia. And I was lucky enough to meet the breeder about a year ago, and I hope he's coming back actually at the end of 2018. We get to see him another time. But some of the great varieties coming from his program, there's one called King's Celebration. Have you heard of that, Tiger?
No, I haven't heard of that one at all.
Yeah, so we've got King's Celebration, King's Fire, and then other varieties, and I don't think this one comes from his program, is called Peaches and Cream. And I think one of the best, fastest growing grevilleas that if someone's a starter, is starting with grevilleas, is called Superb.
Okay.
I was in a garden a couple of days ago, and I saw some Superb grevilleas, which had been planted a year ago from a gallon container. They were probably about 2.5 feet high and probably about 2.5 feet across, just covered with these wonderful reddish, yellowish blooms, and a magnet for the pollinators as well.
And when you look at the Superb series, what kind is it? There's a lot of grevilleas. Was it one with kind of like almost like the oak leaves, or was it more of the piney looking one?
Great. Yeah, super question, Tiger. This is more of the kind of the needle type leaves, but with very, very large flowers. And the other thing I really liked about the plant, and the breeders are really putting some good time and energy into this now, is the shape and the form of the plant. So it had a nice, even growing habit. You know, it didn't lean one way, it didn't lean the other. It was just a nice, full-rounded plant.
Excellent.
So,
what else? What other plants do you have on your list?
On my list, okay. So for those of you listening in right now, you've got to buckle up, and you should have a pen and a pencil on hand. So my the plant that's taking the warmer regions of America by storm is a new acacia called Cousin It.
Oh, yes.
And Cousin It came out of a breeding program. You've worked with that one, Tiger?
You know what's funny is I was actually going to bring that one in, and then I saw the Ned Kelly Grevillea today, and I brought in the Ned Kelly because I thought it was flowering and it was a little bit more fun. But, yeah, the Cousin It is
We've
is
talked
very
about
popular.
that on our show before, Cousin It. Absolutely.
Yeah, it's a really cool plant. You know, it gets about 2.5 feet high, and I've actually got one of the original ones in my garden. It's probably about 6 to 7 feet across now. But the plant is bulletproof. In the warmer regions, it's evergreen, low water once established. I have had no disease issues with the plant whatsoever. I actually have it on it's beside my, yeah, I'm sorry?
Yours is 6 feet wide? Is that what I heard?
It's about, yes,
Wow.
6 to 7 feet wide.
Wow.
They make an outstanding ground cover. So they don't get quite as high as the breeders originally claimed, but that's okay. But for the listeners who want a great ground cover for a hillside or an evergreen plant, you know, that's going to cover quite a large area in the garden that's going to look good all year round, this is a wonderful plant. When you're purchasing them from the nursery, don't be afraid to ask the nursery person just to have a quick peek at the roots. This requires a little bit of extra effort on the nurseryman's part, but one of the things I have noticed is that from time to time, some of the plants are really lightly rooted. They look like they have a lot of top on them, a lot of foliage, but they really don't have too many roots. So it can be a little harder to plant.
Yeah.
So that's a Acacia Cousin It.
And for those of you that aren't familiar with it, the name is all you need to know is be familiar with, because Cousin It was from the Addams family.
From the Addams family,
where
right.
It was the floppy-haired
little
character.
sunglasses and the hat.
And that's the exact description of the plant.
Whoever named it was right on.
Exactly. It's one of those names that as soon as you hear the name, you're like, I know exactly what that plant looks like.
You'll never forget.
All right, what else do you have for us, Nick?
Well, I'll tell you a funny story, Tiger, because when I first, was introduced to this plant, and I said, they've called it the most ridiculous name. They've called it Cousin It. And of course, Corinne said, all right, let me tell you who Cousin It is. And then I got it.
Yeah, now it makes sense. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that was funny. So, right now, as we drive around the neighborhoods, whether it's on the East Coast of America, in the Carolinas, Georgia, places like that, or on the West Coast, the Muhlenbergias, the deer grass, are looking exquisite. And because we've had, good moisture in the ground last year, they really put on a lot of growth. So one particular variety I want to give a plug. It's called Plumetastic, Plumtastic. And Plumetastic actually was a chance discovery on the old El Toro Marine Base in Irvine, in Orange County. Muhlenbergias, they're a native grass to the southwest. They have a real broad coverage from one side of America to the other, in the warmer regions again.
Hey, Nick, we got to take a break. Hold on to that thought, Nick. We got to take a break. We're going to come right back. This is good. We're going to keep the momentum going into our final segment. It is 45 minutes after the hour. Bryan, Maine, Tiger Palafox. John, unfortunately, not with us today, but we wish him well. Anyway, we are going to take that break, coming right back Saturday morning with your friends here, Garden Buddies on Garden America.
Mosquitoes can transmit deadly diseases, including Zika virus, West Nile virus, and dengue fever. Use Summit mosquito dunks to kill mosquitoes before they become disease-spreading pests. Just float an organic mosquito dunk in ponds, bird baths, rain barrels, and any standing water to kill mosquito larvae for 30 days or longer. Don't worry, mosquito dunks won't harm people, pets, fish, birds, or other wildlife. Mosquito dunks are available at fine garden centers and hardware stores.
Do you have insects on your roses? Do you have borers damaging your trees and shrubs due to stress or the drought? This is Tiger Palafox with Garden America Radio. Fertilome Tree and Shrub Drench is a great product that will give you season-long protection against many insects. Fertilome Tree and Shrub Drench can act as a preventer or a curative for insects that suck, chew, or bore on your plants. This may be the easiest product to use. Simply measure, mix in a bucket, and pour around the base of the tree. One application can last up to a full year. Protect your trees with Fertilome Tree and Shrub Drench. Find it at your local independent nursery or fertilome.com.
Attention business owners and independent contractors. This is a money-saving message from Tax Mediation Services. If your business owes $20,000 or more in taxes, we can help you today, right now. Listen, dealing with the IRS is no picnic. It's an intimidating and extremely stressful process, and you don't want to go it alone. Our attorneys know every law, every tax break, and every possible opportunity to help you resolve and reduce your tax debt. And if you owe more than $20,000, you may be at the top of their hit list. So don't take your tax debt lightly, because it will not go away on its own. The IRS can seize your bank accounts, your home, and even shut down your business. Call our tax experts today at 1-800-711-6812 and let us deal with the IRS while you focus on your business. That's 1-800-711-6812. Again, that's 800-711-6812.
How old are you? 25, 35, 50, or older? If you have pain, we can help. Do your knees hurt?
Ow.
Let me ask you again. Are your knees killing you?
Oh, yeah. Are they ever?
What about your back? When you bend over, does it feel like this? How about when you get out of bed in the morning? If you're like me, your knees and back feel like this.
Oh, that hurts.
I found a company called the Pain Relief Hotline. They specialize in ways to treat your knee, back, and neck pain without surgery or taking medications. The good news is if you have insurance, you may have little or no cost or out-of-pocket expense. I've used them. It works. Call the Pain Relief Hotline now for free information. 800-303-4607. 800-303-4607. Call now. 800-303-4607. That's 800-303-4607.
Do you owe $10,000 or more on at least 2 federal student loans? Then you may qualify for new programs offered by the Department of Education. These programs can reduce your interest, lower your payments, and possibly qualify you for loan forgiveness. If you have $10,000 or more and at least 2 federal student loans and not in school, you may qualify for one of these programs. Call now to check your eligibility. Student advisors are standing by to help you determine if you qualify for these new programs. They can help you reduce your interest, lower your payment, and even forgive a portion of your student loan debt. Take control of your financial future. Take this free 5-minute free call now to Nationwide Student.
Yeah.
Well, radio is just like I'm just listening.
Well, we're
800-439-1588, 800-439-1588, 800-439-1588, 800-439-1588.
If you're suffering from hearing loss, stay tuned for a special offer from the makers of Listen Clear, a revolutionary hearing aid breakthrough designed by top audio engineers to fit your ear almost invisibly. Right now, you can try Listen Clear hearing aids absolutely free for 45 days. You can also qualify for free shipping and free batteries for life. Listen Clear hearing aids are so lightweight and comfortable, you can wear them all day long. They're
visible too, so others won't even notice you're wearing them. And the best part is, you'll be able to hear almost everything.
Everywhere. Now, to get started with your 45-day hearing aid trial. This special offer won't be available for long, so call Listen Clear now.
800-716-4650. 800-716-4650. 800-716-4650. We're here 24 hours a day to help.
800-716-4650.
I'm watching me. See, I got another phone.
Biz Talk Radio.
And,
Welcome to the Garden America Radio Show with Bryan, John, and Tucker. The phone lines are open right now at 855-424-9825. That's 855-424-9825. or johnamerica.com.
Back here on your Saturday morning, minus John Bagnasco. We wish him well with his car problems. Tiger Palafox, I'm Bryan Main. We're going to continue our final segment as we wrap things up. Again, posting your questions and comments. We did put a couple of links up there, and the good part about this, Tiger and I were talking about this during the break. If you are listening in your car or not watching us on Facebook right now, missed any of the conversation or want a link, you can always go back to our Facebook page. Our shows are kept on Facebook, and you can see the links right there. You can click those links and follow up with something that you missed.
We just posted a link to the Cousin plant.
Right.
We posted a link to the Village Nursery website for some of the information on some of the plants we're talking about right now. And so
it's always there.
Even if you don't have it, you can always go back to it.
Right. All right, so back with Nick as we went to the break. Nick, you're still with us, hopefully, obviously?
Yes, I'm here.
All right. So, Nick, before we went to the break, we were talking about one of the Muhlenbergias that was found up in the El Toro area, which is near Irvine, California. One of the questions I had, up there in that area, you have some pretty dominant native nurseries. You've got Tree of Life, I think El Plantillo.
Oh, yeah.
Who found this Muhlenbergia up there? That's kind of fun.
Yeah, so I was actually the guy that found it.
Oh, congratulations!
And I'm not trying to promote it because I don't get anything out of it. Just the fun of bringing a plant to market.
Yeah.
But this was actually found on the old El Toro Marine base outside one of the old marine buildings, and there was a planting probably of about 300 or 400. Just straight Muhlenbergias, just the regular deer grass from seedlings. And in the September, I was out there one year. I used to be on the board of advisors for the Great Park. And I was looking through this bed, and one of these plants was like about 3.5 to 4 feet high, very upright, had a really great structure. A lot of Muhlenbergias tend not to have a great structure. And the color of the plumes on the plant, it's kind of a fall or, autumn time pluma. The plumas were this deep amethyst color, really lovely purple. So in collaboration with the city of Irvine, for the old company I used to work with, we dug the plant up and brought it to market over a period of years. But one of the things that I have learned about Muhlenbergias, and there are lots of different flavors of them, is that if in a really hot summer, they do like a little bit of additional watering. If you let them dry out too much in the summertime, you don't get that awesome blooming season in the autumn.
All right. Well, that's very exciting. It's always fun to find out who founded the plant and a little bit of a history. And I know it takes a while to come to market, so I know this was probably done a while back. But it's kind of neat that now you can kind of see the fruits of your efforts. And a Facebook question I think that came across, right?
From Elizabeth?
Yeah.
Yes. And
can you read it?
You don't have your computer with you, so let me see if I can read that. She says, this is from Elizabeth, and she's saying, I know you're not talking about trees, but I need a recommendation. Looking for an umbrella-like tree for a small backyard. She lives in Ventura County. Thanks for your ideas. So Ventura County. Nick, what do you think?
Oh, well, Elizabeth, thank you so much for making contact, and hopefully you'll listen.
You have a calling question?
You're fairly coastal, so I'm going to give you something to try that might be a little on the unusual side. I'm a real fan of Lagerstromias, and there's a breeder over in Oklahoma by the name of Carl Whitcomb who've got the most disease-resistant magnolias on the market. Mildew can be an issue with them, but his varieties are just fantastic. One of his brand new varieties is called Dynamite, and Dynamite has the reddest flower of any Lagerstromia. They're a very well-behaved garden tree. They don't get too big. The plant's probably going to get 18 feet high and probably about 12, maybe 15 feet across. You can keep them smaller with a little bit of pruning. And they have a really nice long flowering season. If you can get the next model on of Dynamite, the brand new one is called Double Dynamite. And Double Dynamite in Oklahoma, I've done the trials here in California as well, we can get 100 straight days of blooming out of the plant. So very high disease resistance, long blooming season. And Double Dynamite has wonderful burgundy red-colored leaves as well. That would be a great choice for you.
There we go. I'll double back that recommendation because I've seen Dynamite down here in San Diego County, and again, it performs really well. And one of the biggest things that plagues Lagerstroemias is the mildew problem, and that is one that tends to not have that issue, and especially in Ventura where you get a lot of coastal influence, that'll be nice to do. So, Elizabeth, and maybe what we can do, Brian, is, again, post a link to that Lagerstroemia on our Facebook feed, so that way if you didn't catch the information, we can find more information
and
for
it's
you.
always going to be there. That's the good part.
Yeah. So all right.
Do I have time for a couple more plans?
You know what? Yeah, we're about about a minute and a half though till we have to take our top of the hour break. The hour is over. that is the only negative here. I know we could go on and on, Nick. Obviously. So I'm just trying to think.
Do you want to carry? Do you want to carry into the next hour, Nick?
Yeah, we'll have you on for the first segment, Nick. If you want to hang on, because we do have a caller's question. So when we go to the top of the hour news break, it's about 6 minutes because there's a lot of interest in what we're talking about this morning. So, Nick, if you can hang on again, top of the hour for the first segment, we'll come back, and then you can finish up with your recommendations. Let me see if I can read a quick I'm going to wait. Again, we're up against the clock here. Can you give us one more before the top of the hour, Nick, and then we'll carry on afterwards? Go right ahead.
All right, a real quick one, and this is very broad. It's camellia season, and camellias, once established, are very, very drought tolerant for those of you that are worried about water. But check out your local nursery, check out your local garden center. The camellias, which are looking wonderful right now, are the sasanquas. These tend to be some of the flavors that they'll take a little bit of sun. And in the springtime, the ones that start blooming are the japonicas, and they like the shade. So follow up on looking at camellias. They're so beautiful, lots of different varieties and colors.
Okay, beautiful. That's beautiful timing.
Yeah.
So, Nick, hang on. We're going to go to the top of the hour here. We've got news coming up on many of these affiliates. If your market doesn't carry us second hour, keep it on Facebook Live. You can post more questions. We do have a phone call we're going to be taking from Napomo when we come back second hour. So things are heating up, and we're going to keep Nick over for at least the first segment of the next hour. 855-424-9825, or better yet, post your questions on Facebook Live. We'll get to them as this continues to be a big interest to just about everybody. John not here today. Tiger Palafox, I'm Bryan Main. Stay with us. We've got news coming up. Hour number 2 coming up 6 minutes after, right here on Biz Talk Radio and, of course, Facebook Live.
The opinions you hear on Biz Talk Radio are those of the hosts, callers, and guests, and do not necessarily reflect those of this station, Biz Talk Radio, its management, or advertisers. The information on Biz Talk Radio does not constitute a recommendation, offer, or solicitation to buy or sell any product or service. If you have any questions about Biz Talk Radio, contact us at 817-274-1609 or at biztalkradio.com. Biz Talk Radio.
For USA Radio News, I'm Wendy King. There's evidence that one of the 4 U.S. soldiers killed in Niger last month was executed. The Washington Post reports that 2 villagers say the body of Sergeant LaDavid Johnson was found bound with a wound in the back of his head. One villager says Johnson's body was found 2 days after the ambush by Islamic State-affiliated terrorists that also left 5 Nigerian soldiers dead. Countries in the Trans-Pacific Partnership trade agreement are moving ahead without the United States. Officials said the countries have agreed on the core elements of the trade deal that President Trump ditched this year in favor of an America First policy. Japan's economic minister said he hoped that moving ahead with the trade pact would be a step toward bringing back the United States. You're listening to USA Radio News.
All right, guys, we're ready for our 4-season sunroom, and Daddy's gonna get a rec room with refreshments.
Oh no, we'll be sleeping under the stars.
Mom, what about the one with, the fun?
Nice try, little bro. It's a gym. My gym.
Hey, Grandma's getting her Four Seasons garden room. Weather tight and still like being outdoors.
Maybe a living room. Oh no, wait. A family hub.
Yeah!
No matter what the budget, the season, or the climate, Four Seasons sunrooms let you and your family enjoy the outdoors inside. Call now to hear more about these great offers from the premier manufacturer of sunrooms since 1975.
More reasons for Four Seasons now.
To find out more, call toll-free 800-973-5533. That's 800-973-5533. Call 800-973-5533 today.
Today is Veterans Day. Maria Sales of New York fought in the Gulf War, and she says she'd like to see America do more for her fellow veterans.
You know, we still have a lot of vets that are homeless, that still have a lot of problems because of wars that are in the past, and now we've got a whole new generation of kids that are coming home that are having problems.
Maria is one of the vets who hang out in the clubhouse at the VA hospital in Manhattan. Alabama Republican Senate candidate Roy Moore is firing back at allegations of sexual misconduct. Moore issued a statement Friday accusing the Washington Post of making baseless attacks on his character and called the allegations a lie supported by innuendo. Moore said that he has never provided alcohol to minors and has never engaged in sexual misconduct. The Post has reported that Moore sexually harassed 4 teenagers when he was in his 30s. This is USA Radio News.
Hey, it's Brandon. For years, I couldn't get to sleep, and then I found MyPillow, and my sleep trouble went away. MyPillow works, and if you care about getting a good night's sleep, you'll get one today. Go to MyPillow.com or call 800-951-8175 and ask for the radio listener special. Use promo code USA, and you will now get 50% off of 2 MyPillow premium pillows and 2 Go Anywhere pillows. Call 800-951-8175 or go to MyPillow.com and use promo code USA to get this unbelievable offer. Don't lose another night of good sleep.
Netflix is dumping plans for a stand-up special with Louis C.K. because of the recent sexual allegations against him. The streaming service says the allegations made by several women against the comedian are disturbing. HBO has also cut ties with C.K., dropping him from an upcoming stand-up special and removing his previous specials from its on-demand service. O.J. Simpson is no longer welcome at one Las Vegas resort, as USA's Chris Barnes explains.
Simpson now banned from the Cosmopolitan Hotel premises in Las Vegas after staffers say the 70-year-old got drunk a few nights ago and started disrupting other customers at the bar inside the hotel. They say he was cooperative when security was called, but he was removed from the premises. Simpson's been staying in Las Vegas since finishing a 9-year stint in jail for a 2007 hotel robbery in that city. For USA Radio News, I'm Chris Barnes.
A Texas sheriff is warning about fake fundraisers supposedly meant to help the families of the recent church shooting victims. A post on the Facebook page of the Wilson County Sheriff's Office says, as much as we'd like to believe that every GoFundMe account or website is collecting money for the families, the reality is they are not. The FBI is investigating a fundraising website that wasn't actually set up by the church. For USA Radio News, I'm Wendy King.
National Funding Group has just released $100 million in easy access small business funding to businesses that gross at least $100,000 a year. You can have fast access up to $500,000 in new business capital in as little as 48 hours. Think about the ways you could grow your business if you had up to a $500,000 cash infusion. Call a NFG funding expert now. The process is easy. It only takes about 5 minutes. Then our management-owned lending team looks at your application for a fast approval. You can get 100% funded in about 2 days. If you need up to $500,000 in working capital to run your business and you gross at least $100,000 a year, call NFG and apply today. 800-296-1564. 800-296-1564. 800-296-1564. That's 800-296-1564.
Welcome to the Garden America Radio Show, the country's most listened to gardening program. This is your chance to talk about gardening, horticulture, landscaping, in fact, anything that has to do in the world of gardening. The phone lines are open right now at 855-424-9825. That's 855-424-9825. Or send us your questions and comments to john@gardenamerica.com. Now, here's Bryan, Maine, John Bagnasco, and Tiger Palafox on Biz Talk Radio and the Garden America Radio Network.
Welcome to hour number 2, 6 minutes after the hour, minus John Bagnasco. We do wish him well. Tiger Palafox, I'm Bryan, Maine. Good hour full of a lot of information, so much so that we're going to keep Nick on at least for the first segment. We continue to post links on our Facebook page that deal with the various topics and discussions for today, so they're always going to be there. If you don't have a chance or didn't get to watch us on Facebook Live but want the information, go back to our Facebook page.
Yeah, and right before the break, we were talking with Nick, and he is mentioning one of the plant selections for right now to look at is camellias. And beyond the fact that they are a good low-water plant once they're established, and they do fill that wonderful gap of shades, sometimes sun-loving plant, if you go in the nursery right now, you're getting to see them in bloom, which you don't always get to do.
This time of year.
And so it's exciting because, number one, you get to see the flower in bloom, so you get to see the variety that you're picking out. But number two, this fills that gap in your garden where normally we don't have things in bloom, but this is a shrub that does. So, Nick, was there anything else you wanted to mention on the camellias?
Well, do you know one thing, Tiger, and I'm going to put you on the skewer here.
Uh-oh.
You're a nurseryman. What's the very best planting mix for a camellia? Because they do need some special soils, don't they?
Yeah. So camellias are an acid-loving plant. So one of the things you have to consider, like we talked about in the very beginning, talking with you, is the soil that you're planting in. This isn't something that's going to like Southern California native clay soil. It's going to be much more amended. You're going to want to use some kind of organic mixes with either something like a peat or some kind of more organic material, because where they're native to, they have much more of a, I would call it a forest floor, where a lot of debris is decomposing in the soil.
And they eat that right up, don't they?
Exactly. Yeah. And it helps their root systems keep wet and, set and everything. So I would say if you're going to be planting a camellia in the ground, you're going to want to make sure to mix it with a compost material, maybe adding a little bit of fertilizer that's geared towards them to kind of change the pH a little bit. What do you think?
Cool. Yeah, I think you're right on the mark. I'm starting to see a lot of nurseries carry a product called cocoa core or cocoa fiber, and that's another replacement for peat moss. There's a lot of wonderful products on the market. You can buy something, azalea or camellia planting mix, and it'll really give the plant a good start. The other great thing about camellias, they do great in the ground with the right mix, etc., but they love containers. And to have camellias up on the patio with you, especially, we can barbecue year-round in the warmer climate, and you can enjoy camellias up there with you on the patio. So it's a fabulous plant.
Yeah, definitely. All right, you had mentioned you had another plant that you wanted to talk about this morning.
Yeah, well, I've got about 30 more, but I guess I have to narrow the list down.
Yeah, go ahead.
So, all right, so here we go. The first one is a lavender called Merlot. That's MEERLO. And this is part of the Sunset Program. And for those of you in the southern part of America, it's also part of the Southern Living Program. And I think this plant is going to be sold as an annual in the colder climates of America. So all your listeners have got something here. It is a fabulous variegated lavender, sage green center with a soft gold outer, and the most fragrant lavender you could ever wish for. She doesn't bloom very well, but that doesn't matter because she makes up for it in her fragrance and foliage. Then we have, can I keep going?
Yeah, go right ahead. We're on target.
Great.
Go right ahead.
All right, cool. We have two Hesperellas. So I'm going to spell it for you, Hesperaloe, and the common name is red flowering yucca. These plants do beautifully in the hot regions, and they do great down to a USDA Zone 5, possibly a Zone 4. So those of you in New Mexico, Colorado, up in the Rocky Mountain regions, this is a great plant for you. Look for new varieties called Pink Parade. Pink Parade will have a flower spike that gets 6 feet high with large pink draping flowers, just gorgeous. And then my favorite is called Desert Flamenco, as in the flamenco dancer. This is the most foliferous of all the red flowering yuccas. The plant will get about maybe 3 to 4 feet high, masses of flowers, long bloom season from spring right the way through autumn. They're also a magnet for hummingbirds, pollinators. When you get the honeybees, the native ones that tend to be staying on late if we get an Indian summer, this is a great plant because it will have flowers on there for them.
It sounds like, some of these plants you're talking about introducing into the market right now, they tend to be more almost architectural, because it's not always just about the flower or, the structure of the plant. You're talking about real dynamic things when it comes to foliage, shape, flower, and, and then, you put it all together, because I know the Hesperaloes, they have this floppy kind of almost agave-esque structure sometimes, or a flax or a Dianella sometimes, but then these spike flowers that are also catering to hummingbirds and butterflies and bees and things. So not only do they serve a purpose architecturally, but then they also serve a purpose native-wise, right?
Tiger, you are absolutely on the mark. You really are. That's it's great insight you've given there, and I think we're transitioning into a period of plants in America. I personally believe there's more interest in gardening today now than there has ever been in America before, and I've lived here for like 35 years, and plants used to be kind of trendy and hip. Now plants are part of a cultural change. People see them as environmentally very important. They really understand the value of them in their gardens. Things like horticultural therapy are being talked about more, where plants help in healing. It's getting broader. It's getting more and more exciting.
Yeah. Well, Nick, I want to thank you very much for joining us. That is all the time that we have to be able to spend with you, but it's always a pleasure chatting with you about what's out there in the market, what's coming to the market. Is there anywhere you want to send our listeners to go for more information that you have for them?
Yeah, please. Yeah, well, thank you. Please go to the Village website, www.village.com. If you're a landscape architect, designer, you can leave us a message there. We'd love to chat with you. If you are a gardener, you love your plants, and you just want to buy plants, we have in Sacramento, we have a garden center on Bradshaw Road. We have one in Huntington Beach, and we have one in Orange County, just off Tustin Avenue. So we'd love to see you. Fire us your questions. And I'm just sorry we couldn't get to speak to John today.
Yeah. We'll do it again, though, Nick. We will.
Cool. Thank you so much.
Have a good rest of the weekend.
You got it. Thank you, Nick. Okay.
You too. Good luck.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
And we do have that Village website posted on our Facebook page already.
Yeah, definitely, because they have a lot of good info on their website, a lot of good tips and kind of things that you need to know when picking out plants. So that's good, some good stuff.
And again, more questions, people just joining us. The name of this plant, which people are looking at on Facebook.
The Grevillea Ned Kelly is the one that we have in studio right now.
And it's named after the western wrestler from Australia.
Bush Wrangler.
Bush Wrangler?
Yeah. I guess that's kind of like an outlaw from Australia.
Okay.
Because all Australians were outlaws at one time.
Sure. And that's what that plant is right there. And again, this plant here, though, we talked about the care for this plant. Not much care, except it can be overwatered very easily.
Yeah, you got to be careful in a soil mix that keeps water, or if you water too frequently, you can rot them out. And then, as Nick mentioned too, do not use a phosphorus fertilizer on it. And phosphorus is usually what they coordinate with a blooming fertilizer.
Mm-hmm.
So any kind of fertilizer that's geared towards flowering plants, you want to avoid. It's not going to mind the nitrogen. It's going to love the potash even more. So if you can stick with just a straight kind of potash general fertilizer, it would like that. but nothing towards a blooming flower. It's not one that's going to enjoy that phosphorus in the soil.
And if you do have it in a pot, make sure there's plenty of good drainage for what we just talked about in terms of overwatering it.
Yeah.
Probably safer in a pot for the overwatering or not?
Yes and no. They do well in a big pot, nothing small. And, definitely is safer.
They need room.
Yeah, definitely is safer once it's established in a pot for overwatering. But sometimes they can be a little tough to get established because there's that fine balance between letting it dry out too much and then keeping it too wet. So in a pot, you just have to be careful with that. Now, one of the things I will mention, though, when we get back to Mareik, I'll talk about the difference between native plants and what's a common term now called nativars.
Okay,
this is
very
a big
good
topic this morning.
And whatever topic you want to talk about, give us a call, 855-424-9825, or post your question, your comments on Facebook as we continue to monitor. We'll get to your questions. Probably can guarantee to get to most everybody if you get in on time. It is almost 17 minutes after the hour. Bryan, Maine Tiger, Palafox here, Facebook Live. Thank you for joining us. Coming right back.
Do you have insects on your roses? Do you have borers damaging your trees and shrubs due to stress or the drought? This is Tiger Palafox with Garden America Radio. Fertilome Tree and Shrub Drench is a great product that will give you season-long protection against many insects. Fertilome Tree and Shrub Drench can act as a preventer or a curative for insects that suck, chew, or bore on your plants. This may be the easiest product to use. Simply measure, mix in a bucket, and pour around the base of the tree. One application can last up to a full year. Protect your trees with Fertilome Tree and Shrub Drench. Find it at your local independent nursery or fertilome.com.
Mosquitoes can transmit deadly diseases, including Zika virus, West Nile virus, and dengue fever. Use Summit Mosquito Dunks to kill mosquitoes before they become disease-spreading pests. Just float an organic mosquito dunk in ponds, bird baths, rain barrels, and any standing water to kill mosquito larvae for 30 days or longer. Don't worry, mosquito dunks won't harm people, pets, fish, birds, or other wildlife. Mosquito Dunks are available at fine garden centers and hardware stores.
Tired of paying outrageous prices for Viagra? Well, we have great news for you. Now you can finally get Viagra at huge discounts. Healthy Man allows you to save up to $500 on Viagra. Why pay U.S. pharmacy prices of $15 per pill or more when you can get Viagra for less than $3 a pill? Call today and get 40 Viagra pills for only $99. This can cost as much as $600 at your local pharmacy. You can't afford not to call us. If you want Viagra at the lowest prices, never pay $15 a pill pharmacy prices again. Get Viagra for less than $3 a pill. Call 1-800-521-9579 today and save up to $500 and get 40 pills for just $99. Healthy Man is fast, easy, and affordable. Operators are waiting at 1-800-521-9579 to take your call right now. Call 1-800-521-9579. That's 1-800-521-9579. Again, 1-800-521-9579.
If you're 85 or younger, would you like peace of mind and comfort for your family? We're Final Expense Direct with an urgent message for you. The average funeral today costs over $8,000, but the most you'll get from government benefits is $255. How will your family pay the difference? We can help. Our senior plans start as low as just $1 a day and pay up to $30,000 for a funeral and other final expenses. Peace of mind is easy. There's no medical exam. You'll have lifetime coverage, and your plan can't be canceled as long as you pay your premiums. Call now for free information about our senior plans. Answer a few simple questions and receive approval right on the phone. Plus, call right now and we'll give you a discount prescription card for free. Call 800-595-6619. That's 800-595-6619. Again, 800-595-6619.
Greece is cheap, but the airfare costs a fortune. Paris? Not much closer, and again, airfare... What about Puerto Vallarta? Let's face it, flying anywhere is just too expensive. Wait, what's this? Low-cost airlines.
With one call to low-cost airlines, you'll drastically slash your travel costs. We're talking insanely low airline prices to any of your favorite destinations. Where would you like to go? London, Rome, Costa Rica, Australia?
Wow, that's cheap.
So why wait? Call now to learn how crazy cheap it is to fly anywhere in the U.S. or international. Our prices are so low, we can't publish them. The only way to get them is to call to instantly hear the most amazing best deals on airline travel. It's that easy. So call now and start packing.
800-217-5107. 800-217-5107. 800-217-5107. That's 800-217-5107.
Biz Talk Radio.
Welcome back to the Garden America radio show with Bryan, John, and Tiger. The phone lines are open right now at 855-424-9825. That's 855-424-9825. Or John at gardenamerica.com.
Okay, we are back. During the break, you probably saw me on the phone if you were watching on Facebook Live. That was John. He's at a garage. His car overheated, and he drives a 1996 Toyota. So,
like you said, though, cars stopped overheating back in the day.
A long time ago.
Would you not add water to it?
I don't know. Yeah. But anyway, John is safe and sound. Everything's good. Hey, we're getting people. I think Kathy's in Virginia. Rochelle's in Tucson. We're getting people that normally listen and watch the show from out of town watching us. So thank you for the shout-out. We appreciate you tuning in on Facebook. And that is the beauty, wherever you are in the world. Your folks were in Italy and watched the show, right?
Exactly. Yeah, a lot of fun stuff. You can log on anywhere and
never miss the information, because all the shows are cataloged on Facebook Live on our page. All the information, all the links are right there. Now, you wanted to come back with a topic.
Yeah, so what we mentioned before we went to the break was natives versus nativars. And the term nativar came from the coining of the cross between a cultivar, which is some plant that we've created, and a native, which is supposed to be native. And it's weird that we talk about natives in different terms because, as we mentioned with the grevillea, we say native to Australia. Well, Australia is a big country, but yet here we talk about plants in San Diego or Southern California, and we'll say native to San Diego or Southern California.
Your point is native to Australia may be just a portion of Australia.
Right, yeah. And that's kind of a funny thing to talk about when you're trying to pick a native. Are you going to get really, geographic specific?
It's a broad term.
Yeah, or are you just going to go more general? And then when we talk about, for instance, the Grevillea Ned Kelly and the Grevillea the King series that Nick had mentioned earlier, and penstemon, which are found all over the country and all over the world, growers will take a native penstemon and then modify it a little bit and then put a name on it. Now, is that considered native anymore? Or is that, it still has all of its native characteristic. It still grows where it's from. It still has the foliage that it has where it came from. Just the flower maybe is a little bit different, or the stature.
So then, in a sense, it becomes a cousin of the original native.
Right.
Because you've modified it.
Yeah.
Now, by modifying it, does that mean that the care changes?
Well, it doesn't mean that the care changes. But I'm saying, is it native anymore?
Does it still apply?
Well, is it native? If you've changed it, now is this a native plant or is this now a non-native plant because you've created it? And this happens in nature. The penstemon, for instance, Margarita Bop. We talk about that one a lot because it's got a fun name. Bop stands for back of the porch, which it was found at the back of a porch of a woman named Margarita's house. And the funny thing about it is, there's a lot of penstemons out there that look very similar to that one. It's just this one had these specific flowers with a little bit of a tinge to it that ranged from violet to purple to a light blue. And that happened in nature. That could have easily happened in a lab somewhere, but it happened in nature. So it's considered a native because nature did it. But now if we were to take that same penstemon and maybe integrate a little bit of red into that same flower, still the same plant, but now is it considered native anymore because it happened in a lab?
Because human hands are all over it. The fingerprint of human beings have affected the plant.
Yeah.
Interesting question.
Yeah.
Perhaps we could come up with a new name that would apply to all of those plants that were changed in a lab or by people that wear white coats and.
I think that's where that term nativar came from.
Nativar.
Because they couldn't call it a native anymore. But they didn't want to call it a cultivar because then it gets the bad name as far as, they manufactured this plant and blah.
Yeah.
But, there's still a lot of its native characteristics. So, it's interesting when we talk about these plants that, especially, some of the ones, Nick mentioned, the Muhlenbergia, the Grevillea, the camellias, all of these things. At one point in time, they were native somewhere. And then we've kind of grown them and changed them and adapted them to fit elsewhere.
And what is the reason? Why would people do that? Just to see what they can get out of it? Or I know sometimes plants may have a certain characteristic that might be a negative, and they're trying to change it to get rid of that negative and make it maybe easier to grow in certain climates?
It started with where all plants kind of came into effect, and it's food and medicine. So when people started trying to grow things for food, they needed to make sure it would grow well and be productive. So then they started changing the plants to make sure they performed better in their climate. They would grow a row of corn, and they would pick out the strongest corn, harvest that, keep that seed for next season, and so that way the next year's crop was stronger.
Right.
Medicine. Maybe they needed foliage off of a particular plant, and this plant didn't produce a lot of foliage or didn't grow very quickly. Well, they wanted to change it so that way it would grow quicker and they can harvest more often.
Sure. That makes a lot of sense. So nativar is the term given to a plant that has been altered not naturally by nature. Oops. I'll turn your mic back on.
No, I turned it off. Yeah.
You coughed. Yeah, okay. It's people cough. It's okay. I've got the master board here. I can help you out. Okay, 855-424-9825, or you want to post your question on Facebook right now. We will get to it because I think we've answered all the questions so far. So if you want to post a question or a comment, we will get to that.
So the next question we had was regarding an organic weed killer, right?
Yes, absolutely,
Yeah.
yes.
Hold on.
You're going to keep coughing. Are you getting sick or is this allergies?
No, it's over.
Steve is locked in.
Okay, we do have a question. Let's go to Steve. Steve, you're on the air. What is your question for Tiger and Bryan on this Saturday?
Well, hi, Tiger and Bryan. Thanks for taking my call.
Sure.
I've got a question and a comment.
Yeah, go ahead.
I thought that what's called I guess nativar that's derived from a native should be called a native D instead of a native R because it's native derived, derived from a native. In that way, if anybody cares, you could see that it's either in parentheses native derived, which would kind of explain. I mean, nativar. I mean, heck, I wouldn't know what that is unless I heard this great show.
Yeah, that's a good point. That would be a good thing to kind of maybe start to coin as far as maybe, native, but put a D at the end of it so that way they know it's derived from a native plant but necessarily isn't native.
Now, Deborah Lee Baldwin chimed in on Facebook, and she puts it very well. She says, nativar, native plant that's been modified, thereby creating a cultivar that has the characteristics of the original but is slightly improved by human hands. Very well put, Deborah Lee. Thank you. That makes sense to you also? Yeah, there you go right there. Because it can become confusing, but really simplified down to its process, that's what it boils down to.
Yeah.
Right.
Any more questions for us?
Very good. And I was just wondering if you had a suggestion for an organic weed killer, but I had to leave and go change the water outside, and I may have missed if you've answered it already.
No, we'll be sure. We'll answer it again. Go ahead.
Yeah. So,
Tiger.
When it comes to organic weed killers, first tell me what kind of weed are you trying to kill? Are you trying to kill a dandelion, something that gets produced by seeds? Or are you trying to kill something like Bermuda or crabgrass, which is more like by roots? You
know what? We got to take a break, so hold that thought. We're going to approach 30 minutes after the hour. Stay with us. Don't go away. And again, if you want to join the conversation by phone, like we're doing right now, 855-424-9825, or right there on Facebook Live with your questions and comments. John Bagnasco, we got a phone call. He's fine. He's at the garage. His car's being fixed. He's back with us next week. We're going to take a break, come back, and address more of this here. Tiger Palafox, Bryan Main, Facebook Live. Thank you for joining us as we step aside, taking a break.
Hi, I'm Joan London. If you're worried about your parent or loved one living alone, like I was, and you want reliable senior care information, then call A Place for Mom, the nation's largest senior living referral service.
Finding an apartment that was on the courtyard with the view of the trees, the view of the ducks, the stream, the creek, all of that, that was what I needed.
You'll get free information on assisted living, Alzheimer's care, nursing homes, even important financial information. Here's the number,
To speak to a local senior living advisor, call A Place for Mom at 800-506-0320. That's 800-506-0320.
A Place for Mom is a free service, and you can trust them to help you. So if you're struggling to find reliable senior living information, there's a place for answers, A Place for Mom.
To speak to a local senior living advisor, call A Place for Mom at 800-506-0320. That's 800-506-0320.
Eating, working, living pain-free. These are a few of the things many of us take for granted. But for many adults with disabilities who are elderly or have serious medical issues, dental care is simply unaffordable. Dental Lifeline Network is looking for dentists who can change this. DLN is asking dentists and their teams to volunteer to just see one of the many patients in need. You can literally change a life. Visit willyouseeone.org to help change one life in your community today.
Starting a business can be tough, but getting the word out about your business through a great website can be even tougher. That's why you need spotonwebsite.com. At spotonwebsite.com, you can register your company's domain name and even build your website overnight. It's fast, easy, and most of all, it's sure to fit your budget. Spotonwebsite.com has a wide range of internet products and solutions to make the most of your website, even on a small business budget. Log on today and see for yourself at spotonwebsite.com.
Due to an upturn in the economy, Main Street Business Loans has pre-approved the release of millions of dollars in small business funding. Your business may already be pre-approved to receive up to $250,000. We've sent out millions of pre-approval letters. We see the economy growing, and our underwriters believe now is the time to invest in your business so you can grow faster and make more money. And we're prepared to give you up to $250,000 to do it. Your funds can be available in 5 days. There are no application fees, no annual fees, just quick access to up to $250,000. If your business did not receive your approval letter to get up to $250,000, call Main Street Business Loans Approval Desk now.
800-430-7570. 800-430-7570. 800-430-7570. That's 800-430-7570.
This alert just came in. This special announcement is for business owners and leaders of organizations who've been waiting for the right time to build. General Steel has made it impossible to wait any longer with rock-bottom prices that could save you thousands. That's right, General Steel, America's leader in pre-engineered structures, is offering buildings at prices you will never see again. Don't miss these prices. A 50 by 100 for under $30,000. You heard right. That's 5,000 square feet under $30,000. Manufacturers, if you need a larger building, try a 100 by 100 commercial building for $129,000. You can't afford to rent with these prices. Imagine a 70 by 100 foot church building for under $69,000. With the economy improving and interest rates still at historic lows, you can't afford to wait.
Call 800-605-5370. 800-605-5370. Call 800-605-5370.
If Ernest Hemingway was alive today, would he say this to you?
Shakespeare, Mark Twain, Edgar Allan Poe, all great writers. And after reading your book, I simply must add you to the list.
Wait, you don't have a book yet. So make a free call to Page Publishing. Their expert staff can help you turn your book idea into a real book, a masterpiece that could someday make the bestseller list in hard copy and digitally all across the world. Page Publishing can help you completely take your idea for a book, write it, and publish it. So if you want to join the ranks of some of the most famous authors in the world, call now for a free information kit. Turn your book idea into publishing gold. Make a free call right now to Page Publishing.
888-785-0618. 888-785-0618. 888-785-0618. That's 888-785-0618.
Biz Talk Radio.
Welcome back to the Garden America Radio Show with Bryan, John, and Tiger. The phone lines are open right now at 855-424-9825. That's 855-424-9825. Or John at gardenamerica.com.
We are back 35 minutes after the hour. Thank you for watching us on Facebook. Want to thank Steve. We have Steve on the line right now who called in at 855-424-9825. Tiger?
And before we went to the break, we were going to talk about weed killers or organic weed killers. And I was asking Steve, what kind of weed are we trying to kill here? Are we trying to kill a root weed like a Bermuda grass or crabgrass, or more of a seed weed like a dandelion or oxalis?
Well, I think for the most part, probably the second. I don't know, a lot of names for weeds, unfortunately. I should. But, lamb's ear, I know I've got in the garden. I think it's referred to as lamb's ear. And, gosh, that thing's got roots that go way deep. But, it starts out with lots of leaf growth.
Okay.
And I assumed that to be that classification. And then a lot of stuff that just pops up between, your driveway, the cracks in your driveway, and starts, messing everything up. It's,
a lot of the time.
Other stuff.
No, go ahead, Steve. Finish up.
No, I was just saying I hate to use that other stuff, the
glyphosate base.
But I've heard that there is hydrogen peroxide in an agricultural strength, which is 35% solution, which I haven't found anywhere yet. So,
so
is that any good?
Well, let me touch on a few things regarding this topic. Number one, when it comes to weed seeds, they get distributed by flowers, animals, whatever it may be, and they come up. Those are usually ones that come up in the cracks, because all it is a seed that sets roots in a little bit of soil, comes up in a crack, and kind of grows from there. Pre-emergence can work really well with that one. Sorry, I'm going to go through another coughing fit here. But, when it comes to other things, you can use vinegars, salts that are based, and then they will help kill weeds by burning the foliage and not allowing them to grow. But what they do is they make it more manageable, easier to pull. There's not a lot of great organic things out there that are going to kill weeds.
Have you heard of that hydrogen peroxide, that strength? Is that worth trying?
What it does is it burns the foliage. So just like vinegar, which is probably easier to get and a little bit not safer to use, but easier to kind of manage, all you're doing is burning the foliage. And that gives you an opportunity to, number one, stunt the weed, so that way it doesn't continue to grow and develop into more weeds or produce a flower. And it gives you an opportunity to go out there and truly pull it before it, again, either produces more roots or flowers. So neither of them really, I would say, what we call kill the weed. They just give you the opportunity to get the problem under control. I would recommend for most people that are trying to do weeding organically, they're really involved with pre-emergence, things like corn gluten. There's some other products that aren't organic on the market, but good to use, like preen. They prevent seeds from germinating in the soil. And if you can stop the cycle of the weeds from coming up, then you can prevent from having to weed at all. Pre-emergence don't allow seeds to germinate, and so that means that also if you plant any seeds, like flower seeds, vegetable seeds, they will not germinate. So you have to be careful when using them, where you use them, how often you use them.
So the key is stopping the cycle so you don't have the problem anymore.
Exactly. And that's the best organic way to do it. Don't let the weeds get out of control, because that's when they produce flowers. That's when they produce their baby roots and things like that will continue to spread. If you stay on top of it, then you can stop the problem with ease. It's when you let a garden get out of control, it's really hard to get it back under control. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it sounds good. So if you give me some ideas, it sounds like maybe out in the driveway where I'm not doing any gardening, or only thing out there is landscaping, a few landscaping, features that I can avoid. Just maybe use a little bit of pre-emergence out there that's gonna go nowhere, but directly down or on the cement.
Right.
And then in my garden, maybe try something else, or just I do the natural pull, the big ones for they spread their seeds. But
good.
What about like burning in an area that you have a bad case of it? Will probably help. But I guess
Are you
burn
talking about
other seeds.
with like a flame torch or something? Or are you talking about just
like
burning
maybe, if you're going to, like say my cornfield, if I got a lot of lambs here and there, maybe set a little patch of corn stalks on fire there.
You got to be real careful with that, especially in Southern California. They don't like you doing any of that around here. If you're in a more wet climate, I see that kind of style of weeding happening more often, but I definitely don't recommend that anywhere in a dry climate. You never know what's going to catch on, and you don't want to put yourself at risk.
We can only do it. Yeah, we're in semi-rural. They allow it during a rainy season.
Yeah.
So it's coming up. But, that's the only other thing I can think of. But so great. Well, that's a lot of help. We'll use a different kind of garden than you would on the driveway.
Yeah, definitely.
Hey, Steve, thank you for the phone call. Call us anytime. Watch us on Facebook, and we do appreciate it. All right, Steve, thank you. Okay, very simple. 855-424-9825. Again, 855-424-9825, like Steve did, or right here on Facebook Live with your questions and your comments. Todd, we have a question about your heritage.
About what?
Your heritage.
Oh, yeah? What is that?
Deborah Lee Baldwin is very curious. We talked about your folks going to Italy on vacation. She thought you might be of Italian descent.
I'm a cultivar?
Yeah.
A cultivar? Or am I native to Italian, or am I a cultivar of an Italy descent?
I said no. Was I right?
Correct. I am. My family comes from Spain.
Oh, okay, good.
Yeah,
okay, so you're close to Italy. We're getting there.
Yeah, exactly. European.
Okay, European.
Yeah. So Spain, Mexico, California.
I love that, and California. And I'm a mixture. I'm everything: English, Dutch, Scotch, Irish, German. It's all a mixture, of everything. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Do you ever do one of those ancestry tests?
Yes, actually, I have, and I do have some Cherokee Indian as well on my mother's side of the family, and on my mother's side of the family, we were able to go all the way back to Jamestown.
Wow.
Way back to Jamestown. And, that ancestry thing is pretty cool because I also found out a lot of things about my father on his side of the family and where he was in 1930 because you get a census. You get people who came over on certain boats and who that census was. And, it's very interesting and very curious. If you haven't done it, I recommend it. You'll find things out about your family. Now, sometimes you'll go so far and things stop. And there's just no record.
Yeah.
But my mother's side of the family, all the way back to about 1620, right there in Jamestown.
Well, and nowadays, kind of like with plants, they do you can do these ancestry tests, but they don't just give you fun, historical information about your family, but also you could preventative health. If you know where you kind of derive from, and there's these
what you're susceptible of,
you can, hey, I'm very susceptible to diabetes. I need to avoid these things.
Right.
And therefore I'll save, add an extra 10 years to my life or something of that nature. And that's, that's ultimately what we do with plants. We take a plant and it's really susceptible to mildew, like we were talking about with the crepe myrtles.
So you know that going into it.
Yeah, we know that going into it. But now maybe we breed it with another plant that isn't as susceptible. Now the plant's stronger and not as susceptible. And it's kind of funny, health with plants, just like health with people.
With people. And you know what? It's funny you bring that up because we have people call us up from time to time and they'll say, well, I've got 3 of the same plants and I'm taking care of, they're all getting the same kind of care, but one is dying or not looking good. And what's the question, or I should say, what's the answer? And then we'll say, well, plants are like people. Some people are healthier than others. Some plants are healthier than others.
Yeah.
You could do all, the right things to that plant. It's just not going to do well. It's just not as healthy. It's one of those things.
And when we had Nicholas on earlier talking about, and his first thing that he was mentioning was some of the watering. And people don't always consider, because we kind of take water out of the tap for granted. We feel it's always the same. No matter what day you turn it on, it's the same from the day that you turn it off, and so be it, right?
Couldn't be further from the truth.
Right? And it's so true. It depends on the time of year. It depends on where the water came from. Depends on how they treated it, because not all water comes from the same location. So sometimes, for instance, in Carlsbad, they have a desal plant now, a desalination plant.
Right.
So some of their water is getting mixed, and if it happens to be from this desal plant, it was treated one way. If it happened to come through another reservoir, it's getting treated another way. And so sometimes you're watering and the plants aren't responding. They're not growing well. They're turning yellow. They might be anemic. and you don't know why. You're fertilizing. They've done well for years.
You've done everything the same way for years.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it might be just that watering issue. But then on the other flip side, sometimes your plants thrive. They do really, really well, and you don't know what to explain. I haven't done anything to them. The water was really good.
The water was
more
good.
Rainwater kind of thing.
Exactly. Okay, it is break time. We have one more segment coming up with Tiger and Bryan on this Saturday. If you're tuning in on the East Coast, we say good afternoon to you. Happy weekend. Happy Saturday. For the rest of us, still good morning. As we approach 46 minutes after the hour, Tiger, Bryan here. Garden America taking a break, coming right back.
Hi, this is gardening expert Melinda Myers. Keeping the environment in mind, I recommend Milorganite Organic Nitrogen Fertilizer for all your growing needs. From plants to people, active growth requires energy, nutrients, and a balanced diet. Nutrient-rich Milorganite feeds the soil and plants for up to 10 weeks. The non-burning, non-leaching formula provides a natural, slow, and consistent flow of nutrients. Trust the fertilizer proven effective for 90 years. Milorganite. Visit Milorganite.com for a garden center near you.
Do you have insects on your roses? Do you have borers damaging your trees and shrubs due to stress or the drought? This is Tiger Palafox with Garden America Radio. Fertilome Tree and Shrub Drench is a great product that will give you season-long protection against many insects. Fertilome Tree and Shrub Drench can act as a preventer or a curative for insects that suck, chew, or bore on your plants. This may be the easiest product to use. Simply measure, mix in a bucket, and pour around the base of the tree. One application can last up to a full year. Protect your trees with Fertilome Tree and Shrub Drench. Find it at your local independent nursery or fertilome.com.
Investing is a long-term process. How many times can you think of in the last decade that the stock market has destroyed retirement funds for people just like you and me? For your existing IRA, you need the security that gold has provided for centuries. Remember, gold has never been worth zero. Capital Gold would like to introduce you to the Home Storage Gold IRA. It's a self-directed IRA set up with all the protection and tax benefits of an LLC. But the big difference in this IRA is you invest in gold and you hold it in your possession. You can't do that with stocks. That's security. You can transfer any type of IRA hassle-free in days. Please call right now and learn more, and we'll waive the $500 setup fee and give you a free safe to store your gold. Call 800-223-0092. 800-223-0092. 800-223-0092. That's 800-223-0092. Are you ready to leave your corporate job behind and be your own boss? Have you ever dreamed of owning a business? Do you have $50,000 or more sitting around in a 401k? If you answered yes, it's time to invest in yourself by buying or starting a business or franchise. IRS code allows you to use money in a 401k to invest in a business with absolutely no penalties or taxes. At Guidant Financial, we've helped more than 11,000 entrepreneurs invest $3 billion in retirement assets into the small businesses and franchises of their dreams. So if you've got $50,000 or more in a 401k and you're looking for a way to start a business, call Guidant Financial now for free information and to learn more. Operators are standing by for your call. 800-570-6630. 800-570-6630. 800-570-6630. That's 800-570-6630.
Do you owe $10,000 or more on at least 2 federal student loans? Then you may qualify for new programs offered by the Department of Education. These programs can reduce your interest, lower your payments, and possibly qualify you for loan forgiveness. If you have $10,000 or more and at least 2 federal student loans and currently not in school, you may qualify for one of these programs. Call now to check your eligibility. Student loan advisors are standing by to help you determine if you qualify for these new programs. They can help you reduce your interest, lower your payment, and even forgive a portion of your student loan debt. Take control of your financial future. Make this free 5-minute free call now to Nationwide Student Loans and learn how you can reduce your student loan debt.
800-439-1588. 800-439-1588. 800-439-1588. 800-439-1588. If
If your credit card bills have gotten out of hand, call Consolidated Credit now. If you're making the minimum payments, but your balance is just not going down, call Consolidated Credit now. If the interest rates on your credit cards are so high, it will take years to get out of debt. Call Consolidated Credit now. They've helped over 5 million people with credit card debt. They can consolidate your debts into one lower payment, reduce your interest rates, and get you out of debt fast. If you're struggling with credit card debt, the first step is yours. Call Consolidated Credit now. Call 800-350-3241. 800-350-3241. That's 800-350-3241. Consolidated Credit Counseling Services Incorporated, 5701 West Sunrise Boulevard, Fort Lauderdale, Florida, 33313. Not a loan company. Licensed by the New York Department of Financial Services and by the Vermont Department of Financial Regulation. Maryland DM19, Oregon DM80031. Licensed by the Virginia State Corporation Commission. License number DC32.
Biz Talk Radio.
Welcome back to the Garden America Radio Show with Bryan, John, and Tiger. The phone lines are open right now at 855-424-9825. That's 855-424-9825. Or John at gardenamerica.com.
Yeah, Tiger and I thought we'd have some Facebook fun and do weird things in front of the camera and, just kind of go crazy here. Still getting questions about what the heck that plant is in front of you. We did post a link on Facebook Live.
Good.
But
yeah, so the Grevillea Ned Kelly is a wonderful selection of flowering Grevillea that you can find at most of your local nurseries. And there's a lot of varieties of Grevillea out there that are really wonderful. And this one happens to get about 4 feet by 4 feet, which is nice because sometimes they can get 6 feet by 6 feet. Sometimes it's 1 foot by 12 feet.
Right.
There's a lot of varieties. They're kind of like a California lilac or ceanothus where you can get the plant you want because there's a lot of shapes and sizes out there, which is
now, I just posted a link to gardenamerica.com for a very good reason. Lots of reasons to go there, but we have a special package.
And it's the HB 101 gift pack. Which is excellent for this time of year because one of the comments people made on the Grevillea was, "Oh, I have one. It's wonderful foliage, but it's not blooming.
It's not doing well."
Or this, or I've planted this plant and it's not growing. HB 101 is a great product to use when transplanting, or if a plant seems to be just struggling and you can't find out why.
A little tired.
Exactly, because it's not a fertilizer, so it doesn't have an NPK that's substantial or people need to be concerned about. What it does is it gets down into the roots and helps the roots develop to make the plant stronger and make the plant be able to absorb water and fertilizers better than what it is. So it's almost like a vitamin that gets the plant healthy enough.
I would say like a B12, like a B12.
Yeah, like a B12 shot,
yes,
right?
Exactly.
Exactly.
And I can tell you from experience, and so can you, because I bought some at your nursery a while back. You see results so quickly. You don't really have to wait around for 2 weeks.
No. And it's a super small amount. People look at the bottle and go, "Oh, it's a $40 bottle. Oh, it's a $20 bottle." It seems like a really small.
It goes a long way.
We're talking drops.
Is it like, I think I want to say, is it a teaspoon to a gallon? Something like that. Yeah, it's very close.
Yeah.
So a little bit goes a long way, and you'll.
And right now, getting ready to do some Christmas shopping. Be there in plenty of time for the holidays. A great product to be able to give to that gardener. It's something that you're going to give to a gardener, and they're going to really appreciate because it's something they always want to get, and for some reason they just never buy it for themselves.
Or have never heard of it.
Yeah.
And they're going to go, "Wow, this is really cool." So if you go to our website, and again, that's gardenamerica.com, but the link is up there on our Facebook page, that special gift pack of HB 101, you'll make yourself or somebody else very happy, and, it's a different kind of a gift.
Yeah, yeah.
And it does work.
Because we're all looking for those gifts to find right now. Oh, I got to find my gift for my aunt.
It's got to be different.
Yeah, exactly. It's fun. It's a good one.
So HB 101, it is on our website, gardenamerica.com, along with other ideas, too. I know we talked about putting something up there on our page to sell for this fall that we did last year. John had some ideas, so keep looking for that. I'm not sure what he wants to put up there.
One of the things I think that we might have up there still, and I don't know if we do, we should put it back up there, is that trowel. With the bottle opener.
Absolutely.
That was a fun gift.
Yeah.
And that's going to be coming back around.
It'd be a great Christmas gift.
It'd be a great Christmas gift for anybody who gardens, but especially the gardener that likes to have a beverage while working out in the yard.
A beverage. Whatever your beverage of choice.
Yeah.
It's got a little hole for a can opener. in the middle of the trowel. And it's a good trowel. It's not gimmicky. It's a good trowel.
No, it's solid.
Heavy, solid. Is it, who's the manufacturer?
DeWitt.
Yeah, DeWitt. So most of us have heard of DeWitt.
Yeah.
So there you go. Okay, we've got about 4 minutes to go. People, what should they be doing? It's fall. It's autumn. It's, depending upon where you live, obviously. Those that are going to be in snow country, you pretty much know the routine.
Yeah, they're moving their plants inside right now. They're preparing their gardens to kind of be overwintered. They're checking their irrigation system to make sure it doesn't freeze or do any of that kind of stuff right now. Obviously the people in the warmer climates, we're planting our fall vegetables. We're doing our native gardening.
Yes.
We're planting native plants, planting those trees and shrubs so that way they get established through the fall into the winter, ready for spring. And also, we could be looking forward to some of the fertilizing amendment options. As we talked about HB 101, a great product to use. You can use that any time of year. But at the same time, if you put down a nice fresh coat of mulch or compost over the beds, maybe you're going to overwinter them, but you want to amend the soil, make sure it's good for next year. That's a good time of year to do that as well.
Yeah, so again, like Tiger mentioned, you want things to winter over, but you want to, if depending on where you are, but also be active now so that plants are established for the spring. I think a lot of people think I've got to wait to the spring to do anything, and that's really too late.
Yeah, you're going to be behind. You're going to be playing catch-up. You got to get it done now.
Let's see. What else? A little checklist of things to do here.
Stone fruits.
Okay.
Those deciduous stone fruits that are going dormant right now, you're getting ready to do your dormant season sprays. So for those of you in the colder climate, you can start doing that November, December, where you're using your horticultural oil, your copper fungicide. You're spraying those trees to protect them into the next year. So, those oils and the soaps smother and kill the diseases on the stems of the trees. So that way, come the spring, you don't have things like peach leaf curl.
Yes.
You don't have the mildew problems. Maybe you have some other kind of borers or insects and you're protecting your tree against that. So that's a good thing to start looking forward to doing now as well.
And finally, we talked about it at the beginning of the show. It doesn't hurt because people have joined us since the beginning. With about a minute to go, Christmas tree advice. You mentioned your nursery is going to be getting Christmas trees in about a week.
Yep.
And so that means about a month and a half. How do you keep those trees looking good through Christmas, Tiger?
So right now you want to keep them shaded. You want to keep them cool. If you bring them inside, do not run your heater if at all possible.
It's going to dry out the needles.
Exactly.
And a good test when you buy a Christmas tree is to take a needle and bend it, and if it snaps, it's dry, right?
Right.
You want it to be. You don't want it to break off.
Right. You want it to be kind of a little bit pliable because therefore it's saturated with water.
Right.
I mean, most needles will have a crisp, but you know the difference between that snap, like a dry brittle needle, and that crisp break as far as like a fresh piece of lettuce.
Exactly.
So, you can take that look out. Also, make sure you keep it in water. But the biggest thing, keep the room cool or keep the blinds closed.
And that's going to be tough for a lot of people that want to turn the heat on because it will dry plants. It's happened to me in the past where I go, that plant's not looking good. I've been running the heater.
Yeah.
And especially with those Christmas trees. You said the optimum time to buy a Christmas tree to keep it looking good, maybe 1st of December?
Like the first week of December.
Okay.
That gives you an opportunity to bring it in, get it decorated, enjoy it. But also, it was probably freshly cut, and it's going to last all the way through. 25 days.
Right.
It's going to last pretty good through that.
Okay. Well, thank you so much. That is going to do it for this edition. We got through. We're sorry that John broke down, but he's okay. He's at the garage, and he's standing around waiting for his radiator to be fixed as we kind of venture back in time to the 70s here. Hey, thank you so much. I want to thank the good folks at Biz Talk Radio keeping us on the air. I want to thank Brandon. I want to thank Jeremiah, Zach, and everybody out there. On behalf of John Bagnasco, myself, Bryan Main, Tiger Palafox, thank you for tuning into Facebook Live, listening wherever you are. Remember, get growing America. Take care. Safe weekend, safe week. Take care. Bye-bye.